Hey there, guys and gals. Hello, my friends. This is your host, Joe, Life with Joseph. And if you watch my content, you know that, all of a sudden I didn't post for 2 weeks and I'm out traveling. Well, 2 weeks ago today is when I filmed the Vacaville footage. And I drove up to Red Bluff. And Monday night I started to feel like I was a little touch of the flu. So I got up Tuesday morning, went down to CVS, spent $100. Sodas aren't cheap, and okay, so I got back to the room and I took some of the medicine, and I don't quite know what happened, but for 3 days I had a bloody, messy slurry coming out of my behind that I could not control. I'll spare you all the details, but I couldn't get out of bed. I get out of bed, and that was that. I go to the truck for something, and I never made it for 3 days. Well, Friday morning, I think I get the spigot turned off, and I managed to get the room about as clean as I could. I gave him an extra $100 in cash just to, like, you may want to keep this. And so that was at the Motel 6 in Red Bluff, and I do like it there. So if you're out that way, just know that I think they're in a little cell phone shadow because my internet barely worked and their internet barely worked. It was the oddest thing. So note that if you're staying at the Motel 6 in Red Bluff. I then drove to Williams, which is about 80 miles or so, and I still had to take a nap on the side of the road or at the restaurant and at the rest stop. Jesus, dude. And God love dude, he got up on the console and was standing guard, just like in the Canadian national anthem right here. We stand on guard for thee. So, the Motel 6 in Williams was nice, and I stayed there 2 nights. I got to park right in the front. I started to feel better. Monday, I drove to to Stockton, and I just drove straight there. I thought about going through the Delta. There's a couple of things I want to film, but I just did not have it in me. In fact, when we talk about Red Bluff to Williams, I wanted to take the Stonyford Loop, and I didn't even think I could do that. So, one of the reasons I went on this excursion is to do the Stonyford Loop, and I didn't even get to do that. This is in Sacramento. I got the playback speed halved. I want to point out there's an overturned car kind of sort of in the median. Now I'm going to show you what happened right here. This guy drove right off the freeway overpass, right into traffic, and nobody got killed. Talk about the angels looking out for this guy. So I don't know why he drove off the road. He did. Here you go. And we're going to press on to the narration now. I still had a couple of minor issues on the way to Stockton, but I stayed in Stockton for 4 nights at the Motel 6 off of on Plymouth, off of Ben Holt and I-5, and they didn't have laundry and they didn't have a working ice a machine, which is an absolute irritant to me. But I'll point out that in Europe, there were no ice machines, not like we have ice now, and here in the United States, and they don't drink the fountain sodas like at the gas stations and stuff, and their sodas weren't nearly as cold as here in the United States. So anyway, that aside, the room was nice, the staff was nice. It's Stockton, but no laundromat, no ice. So Tuesday I went to the doctor. Wednesday I got all the labs in and got the mirror fixed, so the mirror is good to go. Thursday, I did a load of laundry up the street, but it was well, not here in Stockton, and it was $4.25 to wash. I've never spent that much on a regular commercial laundromat wash. That said, they had somebody actually, an attendant, a clerk dude, right in the laundromat, and that's gonna really keep out a lot of the nonsense. So, it wasn't cheap, but I was willing to pay for it just so I could feel reasonably safe. Um, Friday I had to stop out back at the Nissan dealer, Nissan of Stockton. I forgot my receipts, and Ramsey looked out for me. So Ramsey, God love you, brother. You really did me a couple of solids, and I appreciate that. So it's about $1,220 to fix it. I need to track down either their insurance, which is Allstate. I need to make a claim so I could subrogate, have my insurance subrogate the damages, or I just need to sue the guy in small claims court. Just because your insurance won't do a whole lot doesn't mean that you've surrendered your right to adjudication civilly. So I don't think it's going to get that far. Driving down 99, I stopped in Turlock and bought some 420, and then I continued to drive all the way to Tulare, where I got to park almost right in front of the room. The room was nice, the staff was cool, everything was fine. So the Tulare Motel 6 had been remodeled inside, and it was nice. It's Motel 6, but it was nice, and the ice machine worked. Saturday, when I woke up, I drove an hour and ate at Zingo's in Bakersfield, which you'll see the restaurant review. If I remember, I'll link it to this, but if you watch my content, you've seen it. I ended up at the Motel 6 in Barstow, but I stayed at the one on Lenwood Road and I-15, not more in town off the Mother Road. And this one was really nice. It was what are these, 3 stories? You knew it was a Motel 6, but I had a big bed, and it was nice. It's nice for a Motel 6, certainly, and the price was every bit what the shitty one in town was that I stayed at 2 weeks ago. So when I go back out that way, and I do have some ideas about what I want to do, I'm going to stay there. So that's the spot. And then Sunday I got up, you saw the Black Bear review, and I basically just drove right across 40. Um, Drove home, drove through Needles, up Arizona 95, and got home and went to bed. And then I got up and had a China Panda. God love them. I'm within their delivery area, so they're my favorites. And then here it is Monday morning, and I thought I'd catch some of you up. So this is, as always, here. Oh, hold on. All the tests came back as what I expected. I mean, there was nothing new, nothing in the GI, nothing in the blood, nothing in the urine, nothing that would show why I had this. Now, I can't think if I mentioned it, but my doctor thought because that the blood turned off, that it may have been a ruptured hemorrhoid or a ruptured cyst inside me somewhere, and that's why the blood was the blood and the varying hues of the blood. So, okay, so it looks like there's no no colonoscopy in store. I think we're back to whatever we're back to. My doctor did mention some type of diet, but it wasn't anything I'd ever heard of. So I'm going to follow up with her about that. But I ordered some stuff on Amazon, some diabetic cookbooks. I really need to be watching this better. So I think now I think you're caught up. Depending on how I feel, I am thinking about one spring drive. I'm gonna board dude. I want to go to Parker and go to Desert Bar, which is a pretty famous spot, like 6 or 7 miles out in the desert. You know, it's off the grid and all that. And so I think it used to be much different. Like with a lot of things, you know, they have live bands and stuff. It sounds like a really cool place. So I want to go out there. And then I want to go to Giant Rock, and then I want to go, I think, down the Desert Center. And there's Eagles something or other that is, I'm going to link when I get out there, but it's like a whole town that is just fenced off and empty because of the mine closing. So, and then I want to stay maybe 3, 4 days in San Bernardino at the Wigwam because I didn't film it real well the last time. And there are some things down there that I want to see, and I'd like to try to eat with my Hanai Leif and my Hanai Vin. So it's always something in store. And then I want to go to the McDonald's in Downey, and I'll probably stop at In-N-Out in Baldwin Park. And there's some of San Bernardino that's, you know, the McDonald's history and stuff that's worth seeing. And I got to tell you, when I drove through Redlands so I could meet Leif at Darby's, there's some really cool buildings and stuff in downtown Redlands. I think I need to go back and walk around a little bit. They have a really nice downtown, a restored one. So I think, and then I want to come back up to Barstow and you know, whether I do a Giant Rock on the way out or the way back. And there's some things in Barstow that I want to film, and then I want to head back. So that's kind of sort of what the update is. This is, as always, your host, Joe Life with Joseph. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. My God, I'm like 280 subscribers now. Thank you, guys. Awesome. Enjoy your day. Peace be with you. And Dude and I'll see you for the next one.
We stand on guard for thee.
Freya, show 'em favor.